Nurse Allen coming to you today with another video from Headmaster CNA TMU in Detroit, Michigan. Well, the state of Michigan. I'm here to go over perineal care. This is one of the state testable skills that you will be doing in the state. And I just want to show you what you should be having. So you should have your mock skill guide that goes over the state testable skills in your state. Now you can go online onto your headmasters in your state and pull up your mock skill with the most current skills in your state. Now here in Michigan we have 17 testable. Today I'm here to do the perineal care, and I'm going to be going over each step as we do it. Okay, so we're going to start in a moment. So you knock on the door. Good evening, Ms. Jones. My name is Miss Allen. I'll be your CNA today. I'm here to provide peri care. Is it okay? She gives me permission. So the first thing I'm going to do is do my hand sanitizing. So I'm going to hand sanitize. And on each skill, this is how you start. I'm going to do this until my hands are completely dry. Once my hands are dry, I'm going to check her bed for safety. Raise her bed up to a height that's workable up to your waist level. It's a test question, and it's also to make sure you're working ergonomics. I'm going to provide her privacy. So I'm going to provide her privacy, but I'm going to leave it open so that you guys can see. So now I'm going to ask Miss Jones, Miss Allen, can I use your bedside table? She says it's okay. I'm going to grab her table and I'm going to go get my supplies. So as you're getting your supplies for this particular skill, you want to make sure you always use a barrier on the table. Now, I teach my students with a barrier with a color, so it kind of embeds in their mind that they need a barrier on this table. Why? Because this is the patient's personal property and they can have anything on there. So you want to always use a barrier. So I have my barrier there, but a barrier can be paper towel. It can be a bath towel. It can be a Chuck's pad. You just have to have a barrier on the table. Now, the skill was perineal care. What do we need for perineal care? You need a basin. You need a towel to dry her off. You need one to put over the patient to keep them warm. But you can also use a warming blanket, but I always use the towel. Now, depending on your state, they may already have a barrier up under your patient, but if you want to, you put your barrier up under your patient. You'll put a Chuck's pad up under your patient. Okay? Then you're going to have a wash towel to wash the front of her peri area, a washcloth to rinse the peri area, a towel to wash the backside, and a rinse towel for the backside. What else do we need for this skill? You need soap. You need to have your soap for this skill, and you have to have gloves. So you're going to grab your pair of gloves. So you should always check before you start your skill, do you have all the supplies so you're not running back and forth? Now you have the option of bringing your dirty clothes basket close to you. So this is my dirty clothes basket, so I'll just put that right here. So I've already prepared my environment so I'm not ripping and running. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to the sink. I'm going to grab a paper towel. I'm going to turn on the water. Teaching purposes, I'm not using water, but I'm going to show you how to do the skill as if you're using water. So I'm going to turn on my water with paper towel, adjusting it to my temperature. I'm going to discard that paper towel. Now that is discarded into the trash. Now I'm going to grab my basin. I'm going to fill this up with warm water, not going over 105. Then I'm going to test the water with my wrist of my hand to make sure that water temperature is okay. I'm going to grab another paper towel and I'm going to turn the water off, discard that paper towel. Now I'm going to come over to the patient. I've already provided her privacy. Now let's get started. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my gloves. Now the perineal scale is going to say the patient is non-ambulatory, so we're going to put a pad up under her. So I'm going to remove my car light out of my way so that I have a nice working environment. I'm going to grab my warming blanket to cover her up, to keep her covered at all times, not to expose anything. I'm going to fan fold her cover down to a working height, only exposing the peri area. I'm going to take my towel, warming blanket, and expose only the peri area. Miss Allen, you nice and warm? Okay. So I just kind of relax her legs a little bit so that I can now put, well, before I do that, I got to put her Chuck's pad on. So Miss Allen, can you lift your bottom for me? I'm just going to roll this up under you. Now, if you don't have the proctor to help you, you're going to roll this up. She did not say the patient couldn't move at all. So what I'm going to ask my patient to do is lift her hips so that I can place this waterproof pad up under her so that I can protect her while I'm doing her care. Miss Allen, can you lift your bottom? So I'm going to lift her bottom. Place that up under her. That way I didn't have to get help. Okay, so I have her protection under her. So now I'm just going to lift her bottom and roll this from onto the other side so that she has protection while I'm providing peri care. Okay, so now she has on a barrier up under her bed so that her sheet does not get wet. So I'm going to take my first face towel. I'm going to submerge it in, I'm sorry. Miss Allen, can you check the temperature of the water? She says the water temperature is okay. Okay, now she's checked the temperature of the water. Anytime you make a mistake, you can just tell your proctor correction and correct yourself. So I remember I did not ask her to check the water temperature. So that was a good teaching point right there. Always, if you forget a step, you can always say, oh, let me remember, I didn't ask her to check the temperature. She says the temperature was fine. So now I have my towel submerged in the water. I'm going to squeeze out all that excess water. I'm going to apply some soap onto my towel, generous amount, lather it all up to get all those areas that I'm going to be using. And then I'm going to fold my towel into 4 corners. I call it a bouquet because it looks like a bouquet of roses. Okay? So now I'm going to take that bouquet of roses, I'm going to take and open up, put the other ones behind my hand, and I'm only going to expose one part. The skill says open up the labia. Can you come in a little bit? So you're going to open up the labia, and you're going to wipe down one side of the labia, front to back. You're going to tell your proctor that you're wiping front to back. You're going to take another part of your towel and wipe the other side, opening the labia, going front to back again. Then you're going to take that one back. Then you're going to go down the center of the canal, and you're going to go straight down front to back. Then I take my last leaf, and I'm going to hit her bikini line front to back. I'm going to flip that last one and do the other side of her bikini line, front to back. Whatever I wash, I must rinse. So I'm going to put this towel to the side. And now I'm going to rinse the same areas I just washed. So I'm going to, again, submerge it in the water, squeeze out my water. And I don't need any soap because I'm rinsing her off. So I'm going to do the same method. I'm going to pull back those, open up the labia again, front to back. Push that one back, open up a new one, Open the labias, front to back. Take that one back. Now I'm going down the center, front to back. I'm going to take my last leaf and I'm going to go on the bikini line, front to back. I'm going to flip that one to the other side and do the other side, front to back. Now that I've washed everything, I'm going to rinse everything. I got to dry it. So I'm going to take my towel and I'm just going to pat dry all those areas. Now, I done patted her dry. I'm going to flip my towel inside out so I have another clean area so when I clean the back side. So now I'm going to bring Miss Allen over towards me. So the first thing I'm going to do this in several methods. I'm going to take and support her and bring her to me in the front top part. I'm going to bring her legs towards me. Then I'll bring the bottom of her legs towards me. Now, I like to bend her leg. And then at this time, I would ask my proctor. So you should have the proctor at this time to go on the other side of the bed. So I would talk to my proctor. I said, Miss Proctor, can you go on the other side of the bed? She's on the other side of the bed. Now I'm going to turn my patient to the side. So I have her on her side. Your proctor will be assisting by holding her while you're doing her care. So the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to submerge my towel in the water. Again, getting it all wet, squeezing out any excess water. I'm going to put soap on all of my areas of my towel, lather it up again, and I'm going to take each section of my towel to clean her backside. So I'm going to clean from continuation from the back, one cheek. I'm going to go from back to the all the way up to her backside to her back torso. So I'm going to go once. I'm going to pull that back, do her other cheek, same way, twice. Then I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to go down to center, continuation, all the way up. And then for good measures, I'll wipe that area again with the last part of my towel. So I'm getting her twice right here. Now, whatever you wash, you must rinse. So once you rinse, you're going to submerge your towel again, squeeze out all the excess water. In those same areas, you're going to wipe again. So I'm going to wipe front to back, all the way up. Pull that one back, grab another one. Do the other side, front to back. Then I'm going to take the next one and go down the center, continuation, bringing it all the way up, down the center. Then I'm going to take it and do the next one again for good measure to make sure everything's clean. Whatever I wash, I must rinse. Now I'll have to dry it. So now I'm going to dry her backside. She's all dry in the back. Now that I have her clean, I'm going to roll my waterproof pad up because this is the perfect time to do so. So I'm going to roll my waterproof pad inward. All the dirty in, right? So I'm going to push that as far as I can from up under Miss Allen. So when I lay her back down, she's not going to be on that. So I'm going to roll Miss Allen back over. Okay, Miss Allen, let's roll back over. So I'm going to make sure to keep her covered, roll her back over. Once I roll her over, she's no longer on the dirty. So I'm going to discard that into the trash. Now I'm going to straighten Miss Allen out. So Miss Allen, I'm going to bring you back to the center of the bed the same way I brought her to the side. I'm going to support her up under her neck and her back, and I'm going to put her in the center of the bed. Each section. Now I'm going to cover Miss Allen up. So I'm going to take and pull her gown back down after we've completed all her care. Now I'm going to take this and pull her up in the covers so that she's protected until I come back and clean her up. Okay, I'm using the inside of the towel just to make sure she's covered and I'm going to throw that in the dirty linen. All my towels go in dirty linen. So all my towels are in the dirty linen. So now, what do I have to do now? Miss Allen, I'll be right back. You're covered up. She's protected. I'm just going to rinse out your basin in the sink. So I'm going to come over to the sink. I'm going to grab a paper towel, turn on my water. Now remember, my water is running. I'm discarding this into the dirty trash can. So now I'm going to pour this into the toilet. Rinse this once. Rinse it twice. Rinse it 3 times. I'm going to sit it down. I'm going to grab a fresh piece of paper towel to hold the basket, to hold this. Now I'm going to grab this one because I'm running out of paper towel. We're going to just reuse. So I would take a fresh piece of paper towel, clean the inside of the basin out, throw that one away. I'm going to grab another fresh one, clean the outside, throw that one away. I'm going to grab another clean piece of paper towel and turn off the water, throw that away. I'm going to grab another piece of paper towel, so I should have one to not cross-contaminate. I'm going to come over here and pick up her soap. So because I cleaned out the basin, I can put her soap right in there. So if I had to put it in her drawer's over there, I would put her belongings in the drawer using paper towel. So now that I've done that, I put her supplies away. I'm going to discard of my paper towel. Now what I have left to do is just a barrier on the table. So now I'm going to get rid of her barrier on the table. I'm going to discard that into the dirty linen. So all of that is gone. The last thing I have to contend with is my gloves. So now my hands. So I have students that come, and every time they're taking off their gloves, this is the proper way to take your gloves off. You want to pinch in the center of that glove, pull that tight, ball it up, take 2 fingers, go up under the glove so that the gloves are inside out. I'm going to discard the gloves. Now I would grab me another piece of paper towel, turn my water on. So I'm going to turn the water on, throw that away. So I'm going to reuse, because this is clean paper towel. I'm going to wet my hands. I'm going to apply my soap, washing my hands. Now I'm turning to you guys so that you can see me wash my hands. I'm washing up to my wrist. I'm going to interlock my fingers. I'm going to scrub the palms of my hands with my fingers. But mind you, you're doing this in the sink. I'm going to push my cuticles back, making sure I get all of my cuticles. I'm going to get in the inside of my nails on each hand. I'm singing happy birthday to myself. You can sing ABCs to yourself 3 times, or 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I'm getting all those surfaces of my hand, making sure to ensure that I wash my hands for more than 20 seconds minimum. Okay, so now that I've washed them, and I've washed them for 20 seconds, I'm going to rinse my hands. All the surfaces, getting all that agent off my hands. So I'm rinsing my hands. I'm going to get a fresh piece of paper towel to dry my hands. I'm going to discard that. I'm going to grab my last piece of paper towel and turn the water off. Discard that piece. Now, what I should have did was moved her table back before I wash my hands, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give Miss Allen her call light. And then I'll hand sanitize, because the only thing I did was touch was her call light in the table. And I will just do some hand sanitizing, let my proctor know I did my hands. But you should do this before you wash your hands so that everything will be done. So the next step of your skill would be to step back, think about all the steps that you did. Did you knock on the door? Did you announce yourself? Did you provide the patient privacy? Did you tell the patient what you were doing? Did you check the bed for safety? Did you let the bed up and then let it back down? Did you open up your privacy curtains? Now I'm opening my privacy curtain. Did you do? Now what was the skill itself? The skill itself was perineal care with hand washing. I provided a privacy barrier on the table. I put a barrier there. I had a wash towel, a dry towel, a warming blanket, and 4 washcloths. I got my soap. I got my gloves. I did not cross-contaminate. Did I wash those areas correctly? Yes, I did. Did I ask my proctor for assistance? Yes, I did. Did I bring her over? Is she in the center of the bed? Yes, I do. She's in the center. Do she have her call light? Yes, she does. I would triple check myself to make sure I did all the steps of my skill. The last part that's in bolded, it says do not cross-contaminate. What they mean, although you're using gloves, you can still cross-contaminate a person by touching a surface, and whatever's on your gloves, you're going to give to that, you're going to pass on to that table. So that's why you're going to use your paper towel. I did that. So now, once I've done everything, I'm going to check again just to make sure in my mind, did I cover all my bases? I did everything. I made all the necessary corrections that I needed to do. And at that time, I would tell my proctor, my skill is complete. Please like and share and subscribe if you like the videos. I will be bringing videos on a weekly basis to ensure that you learn to be successful on your TMU Headmasters here in Michigan on your first attempt. Thank you and have a nice day.